Today, I would like to talk about the difference between awareness and real transformation. So let's jump right into it. So, have you ever noticed that you can read books, listen to podcasts, attend workshops, and learn so much about personal growth, and yet some patterns in your life still don't change? See, you can understand your triggers probably. You know where certain beliefs come from. You can even explain your patterns to other people, and yet something inside your life still feels the same. If you ever felt that frustration, you're not alone. I've been there too. Because awareness is powerful, but awareness alone does not create transformation. And today, I want to talk about the difference between understanding your patterns and actually changing your life. So, awareness is the beginning, but not the change. So, personal growth often begins with awareness. You start noticing your thoughts, you begin recognizing emotional triggers, you see the patterns that repeat in relationships, perhaps work, or money. This stage is incredibly valuable. Yes, awareness is what allows you to step out of unconscious living. But here's where many people get stuck, including myself in the past as well. They believe that because they understand the problem, it should automatically change. But life actually doesn't transform simply because we see something. Understanding a pattern and changing a pattern are two completely different things. Awareness opens the door, but walking through that door requires something much deeper. Why many people stay in the learning phase? In the world of personal development, it is actually very easy to stay in the learning stage for years. You read the next book, you watch another video, you attend another seminar, and learning feels productive. It feels like progress. And I'm not gonna lie, it does feel really good. Those videos are really good sometimes. The books really get you uplifted. But sometimes learning becomes a comfortable space where we avoid the real work of change. And I actually was in that phase too for some time. Then I realized, like, you know what? I gotta get back to doing the inner work. So, because real transformation does require us to do something that is much harder than gaining information. It actually requires us to become a different version of ourselves. And that process can feel uncomfortable. It can challenge the identity we have carried for years. So, the identity layer. Many of the patterns we experience in life are not just habits, they are connected to identity, the way we see ourselves, our internal story, what we believe is possible for us. So, for example, someone might become aware that they struggle with self doubt. They understand perhaps where it came from. They can talk about it clearly. But if deep inside they still see themselves as someone who is unsure or not capable, their decisions will continue to reflect that identity. So, transformation does not begin when you simply recognize a belief. Transformation begins when you start shifting who you believe you are. And that shift is much deeper than information. The moment transformation begins. Real transformation often begins in a quiet but powerful moment. It's the moment when you stop just observing your patterns and you decide that the old version of yourself no longer defines you. You begin making choices from a different place. You respond differently in situations that used to trigger you. You take actions that your old identity would never have taken, perhaps. At first, this can definitely feel unfamiliar and sometimes even uncomfortable because growth often asks us to leave behind the familiar version of ourselves. But every small decision made from the new identity strengthens it. And slowly your life begins to reflect the change. So the practice of actually living differently. Transformation is not a single breakthrough moment. It's a practice. It's the daily decision to actually think differently, perhaps, respond differently, choose differently, even when it feels unfamiliar. See, over time, these choices create a new internal foundation. And when your internal foundation changes, your life naturally begins to change within and with it. So, reflection for you guys. If you've been on a personal growth journey for a while now, I want to invite you to reflect on something. Ask yourself, am I mostly learning about change, or am I actually actively becoming someone new through my choices and actions? Like, really sit down with these questions, work through them. Of course, if this is something you're working on. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be listening to this video, right? Because real growth is not just about understanding life more deeply. It's about living differently because of that understanding. So, closing message for you. Awareness is where the journey begins. It allows you to see what was once invisible. But transformation happens when awareness becomes embodied in how you live, when your identity evolves, when your choices reflect the person you are becoming. And when that shift happens, your life begins to change, not through force, but through that alignment many mentors talk about. So, if you're someone who has been doing personal growth for a while, but feels ready to move from that awareness into real transformation, this is the kind of deeper work I do with people through my personal programs and mentoring. You can find out more information on my website. The link is right here. And if this confirmation resonated with you and you'd love to connect with me, just book a call. I give one free session, usually 30 minutes or so to 1 hour maximum. Ask yourself at the end of all this, what has been the biggest difference for you between understanding something and actually changing it? So I'll leave you with this. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Thank you.